Hey guys, how you doing? Quick intro on this one. This was from Eddy and Marco's clinic. We kind of didn't know that we were going to get a podcast, and last minute we got one. So we kind of just fired right into it. But Adam had to opt out about halfway through because he had some socials to do. So just a quick one about that, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks again for listening. Catch you soon.
Eddie Throws in the house.
Hi.
Hey, brother.
What's going on?
Hi. It's been so long since we've seen you, man.
Yeah, I know. It feels like a lifetime.
How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's mental, mate. It's amazing, though.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the best thing in the world.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
You're a soon-to-be dad.
I am. Yeah, about
Dilf.
8 weeks. Yeah. Oh, hey,
Wow.
brother. Back at you.
Yeah.
Back at you. You got a better haircut than me, though.
Yeah.
I
But I don't know about that.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's wicked, man. It's like, I mean, I'd never even held a baby before.
Right.
You know, when someone hands you a baby, you're like you talk to them like a dog or
Yeah.
a cat, and you're like, I don't know how to hold you.
Yep.
I'm scared I'm going to break you.
Yep.
But as soon as they're born, it's just like this switch that just
Yeah.
turns on, and you
Yeah.
just figure out everything. And
Yep.
that
I've heard
moment.
that. I've heard that. Like, there's literally that switch thing goes on.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you'd lie down in traffic for something.
yeah, literally, and you're just like, you know how to do, and even more so the ladies.
Yeah,
They are watching them do their thing and learn every single day and just get used to it way quicker than we do. It's mind blowing, mate.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you feel more than useless, right?
Mate, I remember the contractions that Rona had, and mate, funny story. So Travis came on his due date.
Oh, wow.
Which was
really
really rare.
He's like one of the 5%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was on the Sunday, right? So the day before, I was meant to be like selling shoes at this sneaker event in London, right? And I was like, Rona, I'll only go if you feel all right. Like, if you feel like, you know, if there's any changes, if you feel a bit different, a bit weird, just let me know. I won't go. And she was like, just go. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll go to London. Anyway, I'm at London and I'm like trying to call her, you know,
Oh, no.
I hope everything's all right. Really bad phone signal. And then I just get a WhatsApp message saying it's happening. And I'm at the XL in London, which
How
is
far
like,
away do you live from there?
mate, it was like a 2-hour drive. It was horrific. The XL on like a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was bombing to the car and back, trying to put loads of shoes in the car, getting my mate to hurry up. The M25 and M3 has now scarred me for life because we were in a van. I was just going so slow. My parents had to take her to hospital, so I had to meet them there. But they actually did send us back home. There was a long way to go, but you just don't know.
No, you don't.
Yeah. And when it happens, mate, you're seeing your partner just in absolute pain,
Yeah.
and you're like, we just need the hospital.
Yeah.
But then you go and they're
I was
like,
doing a gig recently and a guy's daughter had a baby and she was in labour for 15 minutes.
no way.
First baby.
First baby.
15
Wow.
minutes. And
That's insane.
mental.
I mean, it can last for a long time.
Yeah, like 30, 40 hours. How long was Rona in labour?
like it was around 12 hours, I think. It wasn't that long because basically she went into labour and then we were there through the night.
Right.
And all of a sudden the nurse and the doctor came in and went, right, we're going to start pushing now. And I was like, oh my, what?
Oh,
What?
oh.
Like, what? It just happens like that.
What?
You just get it going.
It
And they're
ain't
like,
like
yeah.
it's not like the movies, is it?
Yeah, mate, not at all. And then you know, she was in a lot of pain. I mean,
Right.
women have it so much harder.
Yeah, they do.
It's,
And they can
it's
deal with so
crazy.
much more.
Mate, it's so much
Like
more.
you're on tour and you hit a rim. I saw that thing you put on your video where you hit your knee.
Oh, mate, yeah.
and
man.
you're like, we're useless, right?
Yeah.
And they literally a £10 baby
Mate,
comes out.
it's crazy. And you just stand there going, keep breathing. they're like, shut up.
Hurting your knee is so much worse though, right?
Oh, I mean, with the drumstick, it's the most.
Yeah,
Do you know,
yeah.
I saw that video. Me and my missus were walking around a shopping centre, and my missus heard you scream like from my phone. She was like away over the other end of the shop. She was like,
it was the
"Who
most
is that?"
infuriating thing because like I had this cool groove and I was like, I'm gonna record it for Instagram, turn the camera on, and then that happened. And I was just like, you know what, man, I'm just
Homeboy's got to share
I'm
it.
I'm just gonna give up the drums. I just can't be asked. Yeah, but it's crazy. But yeah, man, it's been a while.
Yeah, how was Busted?
Yeah, mate,
Because
amazing.
that's new for us to you, right? Because we haven't seen you since.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it was amazing. It was like the most enjoyable time ever behind the kit. Like playing, like, because obviously LTA, I was in that band for a long time, but it just got a bit, I don't know.
I get it. And it's going to be surely a very different thing to be a sideman.
Mate, yeah, crazy. And they sort of welcomed me in with like open arms and treated me as a band member. And it was just the most like surreal experience, really, because I grew up like I had Metallica and then had Busted. It's like, you know, that like
polar
the metal,
opposites.
yeah, and it was like, you know, you got the pop and the rock, and I remember in rehearsals being like, mate, I know these tunes, like I know these. And then the first show was Glasgow SSE, which was mental, and it was just fucking crazy.
Do you remember how you felt before you walked on stage?
Yeah, I do. I remember thinking like, I know this. Just don't let your anxieties get the better of you, and don't like overthink it. Like really enjoy it, because like there's a difference when you're playing in your band or playing with your mates. They're now my mates, but like if you make a mistake, it doesn't really matter. Like in LTA, mate, if I made a mistake or if I went to a halftime beat and it was maybe a double time beat, no one would care.
Right.
It was all part of the show. Like, but when you're playing for someone else, you cannot make mistakes.
No.
And that was the biggest thing that I was like, oh, wow, this does feel different now. It does feel different. They're employing me. They're paying me to not make a mistake. And if I do, they'll get someone else.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of session work, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. It's brutal.
Yeah, mate, it is brutal. And you have to just sort of remind yourself you know it.
Yeah. Just
let your muscle memory sort of take over.
How did the gig come about?
So basically, they had Cobus play before.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he's a wicked drummer. And then they were looking for a new guy because he lives in LA and stuff. And Matt reached out through Instagram, just sent me a DM one night.
What?
I was literally practicing, and then I sat down after having a little, probably smacking my knee with drums. And then I sat down and I had a DM from Matt saying, "Do you want to come play drums for us next year?" And then after, you know, getting to know them, I was like, "How did it actually come about? You couldn't have just stumbled across my Instagram." Basically, one of his friends said, Matt asked one of his mates like, "Who's a good drummer?" or like, "Who should we look out for?" This guy sent him my Instagram page. Then Matt showed Charlie, and Charlie was like, "Yeah, I've met him before actually. He's sick. Let's just get him."
That's
and then
crazy.
I met up with him the day after that whole text, or the day after, like 2 days after, and it was done. No audition, nothing, and
It's
it was
amazing,
just like
it's just for me, it's pretty wild to think that that's how a major high profile pop gig can just come about.
Craig Blundell.
Is that how it happened with Craig?
Stephen Wilson had been looking at his Facebook page for like a year,
and
then just called him to audition.
Just hooked him up.
It's the power of social media.
Yeah.
It's like I talk about social media a lot because I use it heavily, but it is a double-edged sword, and it can be like a sort of love-hate relationship. But mate, the amount of opportunities that can come from it. I mean, not only did they see my playing, but they saw more than that. They saw like my personality. They saw even down to things that sound stupid, but like the way I dress. You know, those are little things that can tick a box to get you a gig.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for a pop gig.
Yeah, mate, 100%. So I think it just sort of sealed the deal, really. And even if it didn't, it was the communication between us through the app. You know, I was thinking about it, like, if it wasn't for Instagram, they probably would have got someone they already knew.
Yeah, through a fixer.
Yeah.
How's the lessons thing going?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, it's
that
good.
was relative. I guess that's from the last time we saw you. That's probably quite new as well.
Yeah, it is, I wasn't doing it.
Because you played the Lead Shop opening like
Oh,
last.
Yeah,
of course.
I did,
You
yeah.
you were down, Adam.
Yeah.
Was it May?
Yeah.
June? I can't keep
it was
up
the
so much.
April. It was a year ago in April.
That's
Yeah.
mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it wasn't long after. So Lead Shop opened, and it wasn't long before that when you started the whole lessons, online lessons.
Yeah, mate, it's wicked. I love it. It's like it's like my obsession now.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. And like, I definitely just want to, my thing now is I'm going to play for mates, right? And then I'm going to play for, if I get offered a gig and I like it, I'll do it. But my main thing is my website, and then just playing for friends. And because I don't know, I'm just over like the sort of chasing the pop stuff, and like, it's just, I don't know. I love teaching now. I love it. And because I don't read music and I'm really dyslexic and I've got the worst attention span in the world. Learning for me was like a really weird thing. I felt like an alien the whole time. And the things I talk about in my site and how I talk about it, it just makes me, I don't know, man. It's made me realize there's a lot more people out there who play drums who don't read music and can't read music, and a lot of things they see online or in person scare them. And it's actually like, a lot of it's smoke and mirrors, and a lot of it is easier. It's just how you get there. Do you know what I mean? How you learn. So
I think you're totally right, because what puts me off a lot of Drumeo videos sometimes is that you'll get guys on there and everything's notated, but it's like, if you're not the strongest reader or you don't know how to read, it's like bang. It's totally gone. Like, you don't really know how to absorb
most
it.
shops like you see on Instagram, that you watch them and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And second of all, like, how do I play that? And then when you actually break it down and you're like, oh, it's a paradiddle, you just remove the last right with a kick. You're like, oh, it's that simple. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of people don't say how simple it is. I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's the smoke and mirrors thing. Like you say, it makes it look tidier than it is. Yeah,
I mean, mate, teaching, it's just fun, man. I love teaching.
Did you do any teaching before LTA?
Nah, well, a little bit. When I came home from tour, I used to do like 2 days in a row. But even that was daunting. Like, you guys have taught, haven't you? It's fucking hard, mate. Like one-to-one as well. It's really sort of
and
like...
if you've got young kids that don't want to practice, and you've got parents chinning you about, well, why aren't they getting any better? Well, you know, he doesn't practice.
Exactly.
You know, or they don't... You ever taught anybody that doesn't have a drum kit?
Mate.
You're like, well, how do you expect them,
what are we doing
them to get any better? Him or her, you know, like... You're just repeating last week's lesson.
Yeah.
Because you've not done any practice.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird.
It's weird, man, and it's quite physically and emotionally draining as well. And the beautiful thing about teaching online is that you can do one. I mean, it sounds quite lazy, but you can do one video, and then people can watch it when they want and dive in and dive out. And
that's the way it's going now. Eh?
Yeah, mate. And
it's like the Netflix of drums.
Yeah, mate. It took me a while to get used to talking to the camera, though. I mean, I'm still not there.
Preaching, man. Yeah. Like, it's hard. It's so hard, right? Like,
I remember the first time I put it on, and I was like, hi guys, we're gonna do a paradiddle here, and I was just like throwing loads of stuff at the wall to see what stuck, and I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And then after like probably a couple of weeks of making sort of 10 videos, 15 videos, and deleting them because I wasn't happy, I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna talk how I normally talk, swear, say say like, repeat myself, and just be me. And that's what works. It's like, I was trying to be like Mike Johnston, and like Mike Johnston's a really good mate now, but I was just subconsciously trying to do what appeared to be working. Well, Mike Johnson is working.
And it's because I suppose your approach, there's no one really doing it like that. You know what I mean? Everyone is very quite formal. Like, when you, like, I know I talk about Drumeo a lot, but like their approach is quite, hey, I'm such and such, and this is how you're going to do this kind of thing. Whereas you're just like,
you are, mate.
Geez,
you are, dickhead.
Exactly.
You want to play this? Yeah.
I guess maybe that's just, you know, the formal thing is what some people want. The informal thing is what other people want.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, each their own, man. It's like,
do you do the clinic the way you do clinics? Is that different, or did clinics help you with teaching?
They do, but 100%. Because when someone asks you like, "Oh, what are you doing there?" and you don't have a clue, you have to sort of on the spot pick it apart and find out what. Blag it. But then you actually think it's all about like reverse engineering everything you do and go, okay, how do I get my hands fluid or to the point where I'm happy with them? And it's like, okay, what have I done all these years? And that might be something as simple as like playing on the sofa, which some drum teachers say don't do, but like that's all I used to do as a kid, play with my sticks on the arm of the sofa. So it's all just about reverse engineering something. And being like, and what I tend to do as well is if I'm playing a groove that I like, then I mess around with it in different tempos and then see if it's bettering anything. So it might be technique, dynamics, control, independence, whatever it is. So I like teaching things in context. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I love a pad workout, but I also love playing a groove and feels.
Well, the pad workout has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, it has to. I often found if people walked away with something that they could hang on to, they were happier.
Yeah.
You know, so like, if it wasn't too conceptual, and they were like, "What am I meant to do with like not?" This is going to sound really dodgy, but it's not meant the way it's going to sound. People don't necessarily always want to think for themselves, and they might not have got to that stage where they can take what you've shown them and then run with it. Some people absolutely can.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is give them a little nugget and away they go.
Yeah.
And some people need it spelled out.
Yeah, it's like rudiments. That's where I think rudiments are really handy. Because like you could like, for example, take the paradiddle. Yeah, my drum teacher back in the day put me off that. I hated it because you used to make me loop it like 15 hours in a row. Do you know what I mean? On a snare drum, and all I wanted to do was play Offspring or Blink. So I used to hate him and the flipping paradiddle. Yeah. But then what I figured out was that there's you get that side of drum teaching where people kind of put you off it, and then you have the other side of it. I had another drum teacher who used to make me play AC/DC for like 5 hours straight, and I wasn't learning anything. I was having fun, but I wasn't actually learning anything. And I think it's meeting it in the middle.
Yeah.
And rudiments, mate. Like all I do with a rudiment or any sticking pattern or chop is write it down on a bit of paper and then literally scribble out an R, put a kick in it, and then play it back. And it might be good, it might be awful. And I just do that, and you can create so many versions of just doing that, just from this one stick in.
Yeah. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What's your favourite Blink song to play?
Oh, mate, I don't know.
Not now.
Not now.
That's mine.
Yeah.
Mate, none of them, because I just never. Everyone's like, oh, you're not as good as Travis. It's too much pressure, mate. And I watched Travis like close up, and mate, he does not miss a note.
Do you know what I hear? I was listening to a podcast where you hear this about. In fact, it was Mike Johnston on the Downbeat. Have you heard him talk about it?
Yeah.
He did the tour with Travis, and he did the whole show without a monitor.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't miss a beat without a monitor on a festival.
So when we toured with them we did 2 tours with them, and I became quite good friends with the tech. And on the last tour, I hung out with Travis for a bit, and it was like a dream come true. It was the only person that made me nervous.
Oh really?
Mate, like literally, my heart was just racing, and I was like, he would say like hi, and I would just be like, yeah. What? And it was just like I just fucking check myself, Eddie. Do you know what I mean? Just like chill out. But I was asking his tech about like his ears, and now he has only one ear, so he takes one out, like, rips it off the cable. He has one ear, just has click in it. It has nothing, so he has nothing going into that ear, and no monitors. So he just hears drums and a click.
Whoa.
And I was like, how? And he was just like, I just like it. He's like, I know that we all know the song so well that we're not, freaking out. We've lost where we are. It's just he likes just hearing the drum. Yeah. And I do get that. When you hear the drums so loud, you can hear every little ghost note, and it makes you sort of, I don't know, smoother.
Makes it flow a bit better.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to, I think Enema of the State's one of the best. Like the drumming on that's amazing.
Yeah.
But you can literally pick the song out without the music from the drums, eh?
Yeah, mate. That's the beautiful thing about his writing. Imagine Blink without Travis. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
It'd just be.
It's funny as well because
still great.
I'd listen to maybe still Mike Johnston talking about him anyway, and it was like it clicked in his head when he first joined the band. He was struggling, and then when they were making Enema of the State, he was asking Mark, I think, about something. He's like, dude, I don't care. Just fucking do something.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I get it now. I'll just do what I want. And they're like, yeah, that's why you're here. It's like, great. See you later.
Yeah. Yep. I'll be off. Tell me to stop. Yeah.
Yeah. There's is that a song We Need to Break Up? It's like a
I think it is.
The drum fill in the middle of that.
Mate,
there's just this bonkers drum fill in the middle of it. It's like I think it's not a secret song, but it's on deluxe edition of the Blink 182 album. It's a fill in the middle of it.
And the drum sound as well, mate. You just can't beat it. Cannot beat it.
Is he always the boy?
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
It's just because he looks sick.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, and being a kid, you look for that guy covered in tattoos playing in like your favourite band. You're just like, mate. It was him and Lars. Mate. They got me into drumming.
What's your favourite Blink song to play?
First Date.
Oh, okay.
But I can't play it.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just fun to jam along to. That opening fill at the
mate.
start, man, it's just like for years I've been trying to get it right.
I sound checked his kit one night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, mate. It was in a fucking huge arena in like Frankfurt maybe or somewhere in Germany, and the tech was like, "Do you want to sound check it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I forgot how to play drums for that fucking 5 minutes, mate. It's one of the hardest kits to physically play.
Really?
Yeah. Like, because everything's really low down, isn't it? Yeah.
So low, cymbals are really far away and really high, obviously. And it's just like, wow. And then you're sitting there thinking, this is the kit I've seen in all these pictures.
Yeah.
Like, what do I play?
Yeah.
So I just played a 4/4 beat and just did a cat. Alright, nice one. Cheers, boys. See you later.
See you later.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Really great YouTube video of him messing around on a pad backstage. He's got mental hands.
Yeah, he's got.
I think he's just underrated, Dave.
Yeah.
Certain guys get it, and then certain players are like, who?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
This
I know.
dude's
I know.
heavy, man.
It's weird. I feel like a lot of these sort of the snobby drummers out there
Yeah,
don't
maybe.
rate, and it's like, mate, come watch him play, mate,
Yeah.
and you will not take your eyes off him. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's a sign of a good drummer as well. Someone that you can watch with your ears sort of blocked and be like,
with the
that's
sound
even
off.
enjoyable to.
So when you supported them, did you hang out on the side of the stage and watch them?
Yeah, so mate, I've told the story a million times. I'm sorry if anyone's listening. And Eddie, one trick pony. But I on the last day of the last tour we did with him, I went into his dressing room and said like, oh, well, before that, on like the second show, I was playing and my drum tech like was like nudging me whilst I was playing, and I was like, shit, something must be up. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Turned around, and he was sort of like nodding to the left of the stage, and I was like, what? And Travis was just standing there like watching me play, and I was like, oh fuck. And he never goes out. Do you know what I mean? He never goes. It's Travis Barkley. Like, he doesn't do that. And he stood and he watched a couple songs. And then on the last show, I said to his tech, can I go in and say like, thanks for having us on tour? Anyway, I did. That was all sweet. And then he actually reposted the Rhythm Vote for Eddy thing.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Yeah,
class,
I made
wow.
my followers. I was refreshing. It was just follow it. It was mental.
Wow.
And then, do you remember when I did that masterclass at the college?
Yes.
Academy of Sound and Music.
Yes.
And one of the kids was like, "You're going to see Blink tonight?" And I was like, "I didn't know they were playing, but I'll slide in his DM, see what happens." And before then, we were talking in the DMs a little bit because I posted the picture and he commented and stuff like that. And I messaged him saying, "Oh, can me and my girlfriend come down?" He went, "Yeah, come down a bit early, hang out." And I was like, "What?" And then like I was a bit of devil and angel on both shoulders. I was like, "What do I say? You know, don't go down. You're just gonna embarrass yourself." The other part of me was like, "Go down, mate, hang out." It's just like a human being. Went down and we were a little bit late because the show was actually quite early. And we tried to get backstage and the bouncer was like, "Yeah, nah, it's like half an hour before the play. You can't come back here." Anyway, he walked to stage and saw me, came over, like spotted me. He was like, where were you? And I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, heart racing.
Yeah.
He came off stage and said, "Oh, can you come to any other show?" I was like, "Yeah, I can come to London." He was like, "Sweet, do that." And then said goodbye. And then all of a sudden, the flipping tour manager came up with like every T-shirt from the merch stand, three times over, and went, "Travis, wanted to apologise for not, you couldn't go backstage." And we were like, "What the fuck?" So we just started giving T-shirts out to kids and stuff. And then I met up with him at the London show, and he did say come down early, and I got there around like 11 a.m. or something, like really early. Thinking
like they're not even there yet.
Yeah, thinking he's either forgotten or he doesn't mean hang out early. Sent him a DM, he just said come in. So we just hung out, and then the drum tech actually had an accident that night, and do you follow him on Instagram?
Yeah, I do. I think. Yeah.
Travis.
Mm-hmm.
He posts videos of him playing, or the drum tech does. So I said, because his drum tech wasn't there, I was like, "Oh, who's gonna film videos for you?" And that was that. And then went up to stage. I was just standing on my own, like side stage. And then all of a sudden, second song, his either manager or tour manager handed me his phone and went, "Oh, Travis wants you to go up and film for his Instagram." And I was just like, fucking hell, mate. Like, got Travis's phone in my hand, mate. Like, what is going on? So I just went up and literally just sat like behind him filming for his Instagram, and then came back and did it again.
I had a total. Have you watched his Joe Rogan?
Yeah, man, I love Joe Rogan podcast, mate. It's so good.
The one he did with Travis was amazing.
Yeah,
It was really great.
Yeah, really, really good.
So that was delicate. Yeah, that gave me a just total new vibe from him.
Yeah.
Just because it makes him really normal. It made him really normal. Like things like he won't fly anymore.
Yeah.
And drives everybody's kids, and
Yeah.
he has his daughter on the stage and all that. It's just, like,
Yeah.
really,
I love that, man. I
really
think
normal
like
guy.
I think that's what it's all about. Just music in general and like life in general, man. It's like, I don't know. It just gets to the point where you think, like, nothing's this serious. Like, you've got to enjoy it, and
Yeah,
that's the philosophy I kind of take now, mate. Like, even with tonight, you know what I mean? I'm playing drums in front of loads of drummers, and it's terrifying deep down. You're like, fuck, don't really think about what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to freeze up, and adrenaline is going to take over, and you're going to play things you don't want to play. You're going to play too tight. The list goes on. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just like, the less I think now, the more I enjoy stuff. I really do, and I think there's a lot to be said for that, especially when you're playing live. Like, every drummer has it where you play live.
Was that something you had to learn?
Yeah, I think over time I just thought, you know what, like, in the nicest, most respectful way, I don't care anymore about
The
impressing
bullshit.
that guy with a 6-stroke roll, or I'm just gonna play drums and just have a laugh.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. Like, at the end of the day, we all play drums with we use a bit of wood and we smack a bit of metal.
Yeah.
We do the same thing. It's
Yeah.
it's how we do it that separates us, and I think that's like people need to remember that when just playing a gig or using social media. It's not a rat race. It's not a competition. It's just about being you.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I think it's really, really easy to forget that, and it's really, really, really easy to get caught up in the nonsense. And and even forget why you started.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't imagine like young Eddie, like when you were whatever. What age did you start?
I always forget. I was like last year of first year of secondary school, so like I don't know, 13, 14.
Right. So like listening to Blink and Busted and Metallica and all that shit. I don't think he would have looked at you. I thought that guy should be thinking about all the other bullshit. Just to have fun playing the drums.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it comes down to, mate. Like a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because obviously everyone's just anxious, and I feel like, you know, when you put so much time and effort and care and like passion into something that you do, and then you perform in front of others, you want them to enjoy it, and you're nervous that they're not.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to sort of remember, like, look, man, like this. It doesn't matter if I mess up this parody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It really, really doesn't.
No.
Just enjoy it.
No.
And that's what I'll be telling myself tonight. Do you know what I mean? I'm just like, mate, enjoy it, have a laugh.
Well, on that note, thank you very much, man, because we're going to wrap, because we're just about to go, I think, so we're going to wrap up with yourself.
Oh, yeah, shit.
And
yeah,
then, have a good one tonight.
Mate, I appreciate it.
No, appreciate you. We'll get a proper, like, 2 hours next time you're around, man.
Yeah, of course, man, mate. We'll do it. I mean,
Part 2.
I'll just Skype you or something.
Yeah. Cool, brother.
See you in a bit.
See you, man. Bye. So we're here, or I am here, Adam's doing his social media bit, with the one and only Marco Minnemann.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. I had a few days off here in Glasgow. I had a good time.
I saw that you met one of our customers in the pub.
Oh, yeah. I guess so. Well, you know, the hotel recommended me sort of like a jazz club. The Howling Wolf.
Oh, yeah, the
so
blues
I went
bar.
there. It was right across the street from the hotel pretty much. And it was a jam session, and I showed up kind of late, and then somebody recognized me. There are some people from the audience there, or some of the players, and they said like, "Hey man, we have this other jam at the Box or whatever it was called. Do you want to come and play?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Amazing.
So I kind of went and did a few songs.
Oh, no way.
I did like Prince, Kiss, and the song Kiss from Prince, and then actually Led Zeppelin, Rock and Roll.
Oh, no way, that's
And
rad.
hung out a little bit and had a few pints, a few whiskeys, and got to bed late. But here I am.
I feel like you'll have just made the night of some Glasgow drummers, because there'll be loads of people like, no way.
Aw.
That's amazing.
Well, always happy when I can make people happy with this stuff. So that's good.
How's things with you? What's going on?
Well, I just finished actually one part of the Aristocrats tour with my band, and we just touring our new album, and we already did like the United States and Canada, Mexico, then we went all over Europe and then the UK, and so it has been a lot of gigs. I think 160 gigs so far or something for that tour. And then in June we're gonna go to Japan, actually to all over Asia. It's like because we're gonna do the Philippines, Japan, Thailand, and Korea, and Singapore, and whatnot, and then Australia, New Zealand, India, and then we go to Latin America as well, all those countries, and then 2020 will be over.
That's like the whole year on the road, right?
Whole year on the road, and since we just finished touring here, here's in Oxford was actually the last show. We played in Scotland, we played Edinburgh, and then we went kind of circling around Europe somewhere and stuff like that, and then found our way again back to the UK. Finished in Oxford about 4 days ago.
No way.
And,
Wow, okay.
And so, since I had the offer to do a clinic tour right after, and the clinic tour started exactly, pretty much in the UK. Well, this is Scotland, I kind of don't want to confuse that, right? But it was close by, so I thought, like, well, hell yeah, so I'm gonna do that and have a bit of fun and stay a bit longer. So here we are.
Yeah, we got to watch you sound check. It sounded amazing.
Oh, thank you.
How did you find Glasgow? Because you've been here for a couple of days now, right?
I've been here it's my 4th day here now, and well, I've been here many times before,
Right.
playing with artists and hanging. So, and I love Glasgow. Glasgow has like a great scene, I think. It's a really good music scene. A lot of good pubs, a lot of good food.
Yeah.
Great restaurants.
Yeah.
I love it. It's really, really cool. So yeah, nothing wrong with this place. It has been always treating me nicely.
Good. And the tour was okay? Like the gigs have been going well?
With the Aristocrats?
Yeah.
Yes, we're really fortunate that our new album is doing very, very well. So we sold out a lot of the places, and which we're obviously not unhappy about. It's a great thing. And the numbers are good. The vibe is good. I think we're pretty locked in with our playing because we're kind of playing so many shows on this current tour, and lots of fun. Yeah,
great. So you play like 12 instruments or something bonkers? You play a lot of instruments, right?
I play a few. I play a few instruments, but I can't do anything else. I can't prepare your food. Maybe spaghetti with pesto.
So when it comes to writing with the band, are you just heavily involved on the melodic side of it as well as the rhythmic side of it?
Yes. What we do, what we do is like, each of us writes like 3 songs for the album. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the thing. And also, each of us individually is the producer of these songs.
Oh, great. Okay. Yeah.
So basically, we all write complete songs and then bring them into the studio and then we record them.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
But
that's how we totally work.
Well, it means that you're all responsible, right?
Absolutely.
There's no hiding.
Nope. And it's like a complete, like a trio. Everybody has the equal.
Yeah, that's great. So like if you take your songs, you'll have, you'll give Guthrie direction and bass player direction, that kind of thing. You'll just let them, if something's not happening or...
Oh, absolutely. Well, when we're in the studio, we kind of work these things out together. And if something, look, we know each other pretty well, and we also respect each other. So when we write the music, obviously, we don't really dictate exactly the part what to play. Yeah. Only like in certain sections, but... the rest is obviously also about to feature the instrumentalist.
For sure.
I think that's very important, that you let the people shine, at what they're good at.
Have you always been like that? Is that how you've always thought about music?
Yes, and I think, also the other way around, I feel it, when people show you respect, when you get studio jobs and people want you to play exactly the parts that are as they're written, that's kind of weird. Then I just go like, yeah, okay, so I'll kind of try to do the drum computer thing then. The best thing is when people come to you and give you like, a template and then go like, look, this is, look at that. And then they go like, this is basically the guide track, and then just do your thing with it, and then they give you directions. Go like, no, I was envisioning a little more heavy part or a little lighter over here or something.
So it's letting you have your personality.
Yes, and very important.
I think I absolutely agree with you, man. I played a lot of jazz music, studied that kind of music, and
cool.
I think when you put people in a box, it's really difficult.
Yeah. I fully agree with you.
I don't know why anybody would choose to do that, with their music. So.
No, absolutely. And that's kind of, I think really the important thing, and also a talent of the writer, to figure that out. I mean, if you hire, for example, if you have the honor that, let's say, or here on my last albums, actually, Alex Lifeson is part of it, and he plays. The last thing I would do to Alex is go like, here in the solo section, can you maybe play this note or that note, and then go back to him, can you maybe change that note? It's like, no, you're Alex fucking Lifeson. I love you, man. Do your thing. Whatever you hear, I trust your ears, and sometimes, I kind of do like, I pick like obviously my favorite takes then or something. Or and that's that, I
think as well from the drums you can do so much more than people think. So if you want it quiet, you can make that happen really quickly, and the band will pick up on that.
Oh, absolutely. As a drummer, you have like, so much dynamic. It's
so
ridiculous.
Much power. To rule how the band goes. I had a question, and it's absolutely just. Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you write, Do you write from the drums ever, or is it always with guitar or bass?
Good question. Usually I write from the guitar or from the piano or something, or I have like, a certain riff or lick inside of my head or a lyrical kind of thing, Sometimes I hear like lyrics in the melody first.
Okay.
And then I add the drums. And it depends, on what kind of thing you want to write about. And but mostly I'm really a song-oriented writer.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, some people, or sometimes I have just fun when channels like Drumeo approach me or something, and then I go okay, cool, I write a song in 15/16. How about that? And that is then about the meter or something like that,
Because it's a feature.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So it can go either way around, and whatever the purpose is for,
Yeah, I always find it fascinating when asking people how they write music, because I like writing if I have rules.
Yeah.
I can only write in a certain key, or I can only write using a certain scale. We used to do a lot of that, and I find that if you have all the colours, you don't paint a picture.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's some truth in it. It depends on what kind of music you obviously do, but I think so, especially on my newest album, which is called My Sister. Interesting name, right? It's a double CD. But some songs really are kind of based just on kind of a certain topic, and I want to kind of keep it also, in that sort of vibe.
Right.
And I think that's important. So you're right. You only use like, kind of a certain palette, that you need for that song. And if you need fireworks, sometimes there is like, the 10-minute or 11-minute song on the album.
Yeah, but that's fun too, and that's necessary too.
Yeah, it is. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but I think it's good to kind of showcase what is inside your head,
Yeah, a bit of expression, and I'm a big fan of the band Tool, and I can't imagine telling them to like not make a song 15 minutes long.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because it's just they're telling a story, right?
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration from then?
That kind of can just fall from the sky sometimes. Sometimes I just have like a mood about something,
right.
Where I'm getting inspired, by a lyrical content, and then I kind of try to tailor a song around it that sort of embodies the vibe, or kind of is a soundtrack to the vibe that is inside of my head. And sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's quirky, and sometimes it's more like a rock song, and sometimes it's metal or whatnot.
Do you pick? Does that then inform how you pick what instruments you're going to play, like what drums you're going to use, what kind of cymbals you're going to use, what kind of tuning you're going to use?
My drum set, strangely enough, is sort of always the same.
Yeah.
It's like, I meanwhile found a recipe of the instruments that I like in the drum sound. And my drum set is fairly big. It's not super huge, but it is actually a fairly large drum kit. And I have like, pretty much the palette of like 8, 10, 12, 16, 18 toms, a gong drum, 2 snare drums, and then an array of cymbals, that kind of reach from a splash, up into like, crashes around like 17 or 16 to 20 inch, and then a ride cymbal, which is about like, 20 inch. And so I have like a pretty wide palette that I can kind of paint with.
Yeah, but it's also, it's not...
Hi-hats are 14 inches as well.
Yeah, it's quite it's actually quite sensible. Yeah. Looking at your kit, like playing that kind of music, you need all that palette.
Yeah.
It
is really what I need. And so, especially with the Aristocrats, when you see us live, it's there are a lot of things there. There's like quiet jazz moments up until really loud punkish kind of moments. So, and that kit kind of really serves it all well.
It sounds amazing as well.
Oh, thanks.
It sounds amazing. Have you always been a DW guy?
A long time. Well, always. No. There were like, a few other companies that I played when I was a kid and stuff like that. But DW I've been now for 20 years or something.
You can kind of hear why they belong on stadium stages.
Yeah.
These just incredibly well made. You know.
John Good, dear friend of mine, and Don Lombardi, both, who run the company. Yeah. They're like just like really great builders, and they're just fantastic. They have a fantastic vision. They really care about the quality. And so, the set I'm having here right now sounds just beautiful. We just checked it out, and I was like blown away. I thought, like, this is cool.
Yeah, John's brain seems to operate on a different level.
Yeah.
From most people who build drums.
Yeah.
Who else do you know that would pull a Romanian river oak tree out, like a tree out of an oak, out of a river rather?
Yeah, I know, right?
And then like, let's make loads of drums out of this. Like, it's 1,500-year-old piece of wood. That's
I know.
been in a river.
Oh yeah.
And then
and
they just go and do it. And, all right, if anybody can do it, those guys can do it, right?
I know. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a labor of love, isn't it?
Yeah, big time. And you can see it in the craftsmanship.
Yeah, I agree.
how's your career changed these days from when you started? Is it or has it even changed? Is it still you just go to work?
No. It did change a lot. You know, the thing is, well, you know, when I started off playing, you know, I still had to prove myself in you know in the communities and stuff like that, and so you always get measured, you know, from the most extreme things that you delivered, you know. So if it's like an independence thing, or if it's like a speed thing, you know, or is it something about something extreme that you do on your drums, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like what the guitar players had in the 80s, where everybody was just like, you know, like, right, you know, they looked at who can shred the best. And then that became all of a sudden, you know, a stamp for a while, right?
Yeah,
but and then all of a sudden people start listening to your music and they go like, oh, hang on, these are actually really beautiful songs.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they see you play with like many different artists and they go like, holy shit, okay, hang on, we have, you know, a musician here and not like just some guy who does like some sport activity on stage or something. And that is actually very important. This has changed big time.
Good.
Like when I'm doing drum clinics, people ask me like really nice questions, you know, about music and stuff, like, you know, like what you just asked. Yeah.
Well, I think that's what it should be about, really, shouldn't it?
I really think so, yeah. Facility is nothing wrong, you know, there's nothing wrong with kind of having sort of musical intelligence, I would say.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
to know what you're doing. But then you have to kind of, you know, sort of know when you're using it and how you
absolutely.
use it. It's like being a writer a little bit, isn't it? You know, you can read comics or you write a complicated book, you know.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. It all has its place.
Yeah.
Do you have a dream gig?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm very happy with what we do with the Aristocrats because that's my own band.
Mm-hmm.
So it's our band, so to speak, and we're succeeding with everything. And so that is actually for me a dream gig, you know, because what can be more satisfying than your own music that you bring to the people, you know.
Yeah, especially
the sideman gigs are cool, and I did a lot of cool things, you know. I played, you know, with Joe Satriani, I played with Stephen Wilson, I played with Alex Lifeson, I played with many more, with Necrophagist, Creator, the Buddy Rich Big Band, those guys, Paul Gilbert, many names there, you know. And but there are sometimes also gigs I have to refuse, which sometimes hurt, you know, where I think like, shit, I would have loved to play longer with Stephen Wilson, but the Aristocrats tours would always kind of come in between somehow, and then, you know, a little bad vibe started, like sometimes because, you know, I couldn't make time and he wanted me to make time but didn't, and then it, you know, boring story. I'm very happy, you know, that we had a history there, and you never know what happens in the future, but these things, you know, I would have loved to continue at some point. And the same thing, I got asked a few times by Ian Anderson to maybe do some projects and or even join Jethro Tull. I got asked by Ministry to join them, which I would have loved to do.
Yeah, right.
Recently, Devin Townsend to kind of do his tour, and we met, and I had to refuse because of our Aristocrats tour. And you think like, shit. But on the other hand, it's a good problem to have, isn't it? It's better than the other way around.
Well, yeah, you know, if the phone doesn't ring, then there's a problem, right?
Then there's a problem, exactly.
You know, so if you're doing all these tours, playing all this music, how do you stay healthy on the road?
I don't. I know it's good. Especially, you know,
drunk every night.
When my guitar player and I like Guthrie Govan, he's half Scottish,
right?
And you know, we have a great time, kind of, you know, after a show, exploring some bars and having fun. Well, but we do care about our health. Obviously, look, you know, we have a good crew, we have a good agenda and a good schedule, so. The crew is pretty much capable of setting everything up nicely. So all we need to really do is like chill at the hotel and then come to the show, play the show, and then we have spare time.
Great.
I guess, you know, this is what really is the essence of being healthy, that you kind of, you know, have your schedule, that you don't have to get up too early, have to take always crazy flights, that you have like maybe 4 gigs, sometimes 5 or 6 in the row, but usually we keep it to 4 gigs. Drives not longer than 2, 3 to 4 hours max. And then you kind of find a balance and peace, you know.
It sounds like you've got a very good tour manager.
Yeah, but it's also our request, you know. We say like, look, you know, you can have a tour manager who books you to death, you know.
Yeah.
And then you make like even more money or something. But does it make you happy? It's like, no, you need a balance.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not like that we're not doing a tour again. So we can always kind of, you know, it's like, here, let's go easy. Let's have a good time. And it reflects in your playing and also your well-being.
Yeah, I think that's really refreshing to hear, because we live in a world now where everybody wants more now.
Yeah.
They want to do it all the time, over and over again, and then you're just going to burn out. And
I know.
you know,
I know that's not good. People are always on their cell phones, always on social media, doing all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you got to find a healthy balance, man.
Yeah, I think it's really fascinating to hear someone at a professional level maintain that. You know, because it's so easy to get caught up in it.
I know. Yeah, no, I don't. I disagree with that. I need my peace and go to the hotel room and write a new song and, you know, enjoy a good glass of red wine with a nice meal, stuff like that. Talk to some friends and stuff, and that's important.
Yeah, big time.
Otherwise, you don't have inspiration.
Oh yeah, they say that about stand-up comedians, and they tour all the time. They start telling jokes about airplane food.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because they're not actually living a life; they're just on a plane all the time. Then you know what I mean? And then they become kind of boring and jaded and angry, and before you know it, they don't have a career. Cause
there's something true about that. Yeah.
You know, so okay, man. Well, I'm going to leave you. It's a very short interview today because I know we don't have much in the way of time.
Yeah, we're going to play soon.
Yeah, we are going to play soon. So I'll let you go and chill out and
thank you. It's all good.
Practice. And thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Where, if people don't know, where can they find you on? Are you on Instagram? Are you on websites? And so let's tell people.
Instagram, marcominnemann.com, or on my our Facebook artist page or my homepage.
Great.
There you see, like, you know, my albums and updates and stuff like that. So yeah, I can kind of shamelessly advertise.
No, do it.
My new album called My Sister, which I'm very proud of. It has Alex Lifeson on it. It has Doug Pinnick on it from King's X, and it has Mohini Day, an amazing bass player, on it.
Great.
And some other cool, you know, surprises. And I'm very happy with the turnout of that album. So go and buy it.
Thanks so much, man. Have a good one tonight.
Cheers. Thanks so much, man.
Bye bye.